Have you ever been involved in an accident and then you go to try to start seeking compensation and then you don't get your money? And you wonder, I was involved in an accident. I tried to seek compensation. I even went to court. I even took a lawyer. And then I started the process. But I have never seen the money. Do you know where your money went? Your lawyer took your money. Your lawyer took your money and they are not telling you that you are compensated. And if you don't follow up on that process, you'll not get your money. I'm telling you the truth. I am making this video because of somebody who told me that if I have a legal problem, I should seek the services of a lawyer and I should trust a lawyer to carry out all the legal duties. I should just sit back and wait. Hey, do you know what lawyers can do? And I selected the example of an accident because I have been in the transport sector. I know what lawyers do and I understand that a lot of lawyers out there are rogue. If you don't read the law yourself to understand what the law says and to understand the possible outcome of a case, your lawyer can play you. And it's not just a lawyer, even doctors and even these other professions, okay? Now, coming back to this process of compensation, let me just give you a case study. One of my cars was involved in an accident. I think the driver was taking passengers to a different town. It was from Kakamega going to Bungoma. And on reaching just past Mumias, he knocked down a motorbike. And this motorbike was carrying two people. A guy who was riding it and a certain mama who was seated behind. And they were severely injured, okay? And they went to a police station. And then I was called to the police station as the owner of the vehicle. Then I was told I have to treat these people and compensate them. Then I said I cannot compensate them. I have an insurer. My vehicle has comprehensive insurance. And I called the insurer who told me that they will compensate these people, okay? And so I left these people in the hands of the police officers and I told them that they will be compensated. Fast forward, because I don't want this story to be too long. These guys, when they were in the police station, they took a police abstract, a P3 form and an OB number. Those three things. Those are the things that you need to file a claim. Now, when they had these things and I told them to look for a lawyer to compensate them, the police officer called them and told them that if you want a lawyer, I can recommend a lawyer for you. And then they trusted this police officer because this officer has been in the field for a long time. And because he is an officer, he understands maybe a good lawyer who can do this case, okay? So these people trusted a lawyer to do all that work, and then they went for treatment. As for me, I said, I don't want to be part of this treatment. I insured my car, and my insurer has confirmed that he can compensate these victims. For me, I am out. And they understood, and I was out, okay? So the case went for 1 year, nothing, no compensation. 6 months, 1 year and 6 months now, I ask them, no compensation. We go for 2 years, no compensation. And then I ask, what was the problem? Then I decided to call my insurer and I asked them, these guys wanted to be compensated and they took a lawyer and this was the case. Were they compensated? Do you know what we found out? The insurance company compensated the lawyer and the lawyer kept the money. Hey. The lawyer kept the money and never informed these guys about 1.7 million. The lawyer kept the money and he never ever informed these guys. So these guys go to hospital, they get treated with their own money, although I just gave them 20,000 shillings, but the treatment came to about, because one of them was really severely injured, treatment costs came to about more than 100,000, right? So these guys were severely injured, they used their money for treatment and then they were compensated. But the lawyer does not even have empathy. The lawyer takes the money of these guys and uses it on his own projects. And so we follow up the lawyer. We start asking, where did you take the money of these guys? We asked that question and the lawyer knew that we had known the truth. The lawyer blocked our calls. He blocked our calls. We tried to send messages. We called this lawyer. He did not answer. So we went to the police station. We looked for that police officer. We asked him, you recommended us to a certain lawyer. And this lawyer was supposed to help us. The money was compensated. Where did it go? The police officer tried to call this lawyer. This lawyer did not respond. And that is how we started now a civil case, okay, to return this money. Now, we said if we go to a small claims court, we may get only a maximum of 1 million shillings, okay? But if we go to another court, we may get more. That case, I left it. They are still continuing with it. I think I'll call them to see how it went. Now, the reason I'm making this video is for those people who assume that lawyers mean well for you, lawyers out here are rogue. If you don't understand how a case can go and the outcome of a case, a lawyer can play you. A lawyer can play you. Let me just give you another high-profile case that happened there, and I think this one everybody knows. There's a lawyer who is called Matthew Kialo Mbobo. Matthew Kialo Mbobo. That lawyer, I think everybody knows him. That lawyer who was assassinated while driving a vehicle in Nairobi. That lawyer was entrusted with the purchase of land. I think it was the sale of land or the purchase of land. And then the people who entrusted this lawyer told him to receive 250 million on their behalf. And then this land was purchased and all the money was given. So this lawyer received 250 million. Now, when these guys started asking for the money, he released only, I think, about 153 million. And he withheld 97 million. When he was asked, why are you withholding 97 million? He said, I'm withholding this 97 million because of, I think it's called advocate lien, advocate lien, something of that sort. I think lawyers know that well. But for laymen, people who are watching me, that is just, it means that these people did not pay advocate fees, and therefore the advocate is entitled to holding some of the money. And he decided to withhold 97 million. And he only gave out 153 million. So I think these guys went to court and then they argued out, and then the court said that the lawyer was supposed, Matthew Kialo, was supposed to withhold only 8 million and then release the rest, okay? But he did not give out the money. So you can see now some of the reasons why this lawyer, some things happened to him. Although the courts did not conclude that this is the case that finished him, but we can see the reason, okay? And we have so many other examples. If you entrust a lawyer with a contract or with a case, and you say that you want to be hands off, and you leave the lawyer to handle that case, that lawyer will frustrate you. The lawyer will frustrate you. And by the way, let me just give you another example. There's this guy called Big Ted. Big Ted is a famous name in this country. Big Ted is known. He's a famous MC, okay? This guy had a problem, and then there was a lawyer who was supposed to handle a case for him. Now, this lawyer asked for about, I think, 2 million shillings. 2 million shillings, okay? Now, what Big Ted did, he said, let me give this lawyer a down payment of 500,000. He trusted the lawyer. Let me give the lawyer a down payment of 500,000 so that this lawyer can handle this case for me. Now, the lawyer took that 500,000. And do you know what the lawyer did? The lawyer never filed a case. The lawyer never did anything. The case stalled. The case did not even start. And so Big Ted went to the lawyer and then started asking, why have you not done anything to this case? Then the lawyer started taking him rounds. And that's how it went. So Big Ted goes to another lawyer and asks another lawyer, what should I do to that lawyer? Then that other lawyer asked him, did you write down why you gave him the 500,000? Big Ted said, no, I just gave him because I trusted him. So this other lawyer told him, that one is done. That lawyer can go and say, you gave me 500,000 for legal services and it's over. And up to now, that lawyer went with that 500,000 and Big Ted has never benefited from the services of that law firm. Now, considering these three cases, you've had my case. The lawyer swindled these victims' money. Number two, Matthew Kialo Mbobo swindled these guys 97 million. Actually, he died with the money. Number three, Big Ted was swindled 500,000. These are people who trusted lawyers and they believed that lawyers would do a good job. So my question to you, are you supposed to trust a lawyer? When you have a case, I'm asking you, when you have a case, are you just supposed to sit down and trust a lawyer that now this lawyer will do something for me? This is what I have been telling people. If you have a case in court, and this is always what I tell people, take the Constitution. It is there. Try to read it. If you understand English, we learn English from primary school to university. I know you also learn English. You watch these videos because you understand English. The Constitution is written in English. Go there and read. Although there is some legal language, we have Google. Try to understand, what does the law say about my issue? And if I entrust a lawyer to carry out this case, what should a lawyer do? So that when the lawyer starts playing games, you understand that they are playing games. If you just trust a lawyer to do everything for you, you will go into a ditch. I am telling you. And for this specific case of an accident, these guys trusted a lawyer and the lawyer ate 100% of the money. Now, you remember that case of auctioning where I said that I contacted a lawyer and then I told him that I want you to help me handle this case. Then the lawyer tells me that you need to give me 50,000. I think we can sit down with the judge and agree on something. Then I said there's something wrong here. There's something wrong. There's something wrong because if you give this lawyer 50,000 and you don't write it somewhere, bribes, you don't write bribes somewhere. You are bribing a judge and you are giving the money and you are not writing it anywhere. If that money disappears, it has gone completely. Who will you blame? Will you blame the lawyer? No. Will you blame the judge who took your money? No. You will blame your ignorance, okay? You will blame your ignorance. And so I'm asking people, do not trust these people who tell you that because you don't understand law, that you should just trust lawyers. If you don't understand law, go and read law. Take the constitution, understand what the law says about something before you proceed with the case. If they play games with that case, you understand that games are being played. And this is not just limited to law. And this is what I have been telling people. Even in medicine, some of you have not studied medicine. You don't understand anything concerning healthcare. I'm a healthcare professional. I have been telling people, read about medications. Read about diseases. When you have a disease, Google. They tell you not to Google symptoms of your disease. But I am encouraging you, kindly Google. When you have a headache, when you have some fever, when you have a combination of symptoms, try to Google and see what is this disease, okay? And what medication can I use? Of course, the Google or AI will tell you that we can make mistakes and we are not professionals. And for professional advice, try to seek the services of a professional. But at least now you are going with some background information. You understand. If you don't read it, you are going to make mistakes. Like, for example, I like talking about myself a lot. My wife is not a healthcare professional, and we do very good co-parenting, by the way. We have children. She has children sometimes, and I have children sometimes. So you find that when children have a bacterial infection, and sometimes they have a running nose, okay? And you find that she has given children cough medicine. We call them expectorants, or maybe medications that can suppress the cough. There are several categories of medications. I don't want to go into pharmacology a lot, because I know a lot of you will get confused. So you find that she is treating symptoms. And when you reach there, you ask yourself, you are just managing symptoms. You are not treating the underlying cause. The underlying cause is a bacteria. Give this child an antibiotic. Now, if she does not Google to understand that an antibiotic is needed, she will go to a chemist. And a pharmacist wants to sell you drugs. A pharmacist is not interested in you becoming well. Okay, they have a shop, they have medication, they have stock, so they want to get that stock out. So they will just sell you drugs to make money. And if you don't go to hospital and you just go to a chemist, what will you give this child of mine? They will give you medications to control the symptoms, but you will not treat the underlying cause. And so you will believe that they have treated your child, but your child is still developing more and more health complications, okay? And so this is not also just limited to medicine. Also in school, get to understand, what are my children studying? Anything that concerns you, try to understand, try to get some little information concerning that thing before you seek the services of a professional. If you just entrust a lawyer with everything and you say that this lawyer will help me, that lawyer will swindle you. And just life in general. When you are driving a car, get to understand, when will I service this car? How do I change the tire of this car? When we have some lights on the dashboard, what do those lights mean? Try to understand what is happening with my car. If I'm driving this car, what type of a driving license should I have? And if my windscreen is broken, like you see in my videos, my windscreen is broken, what should I have? I should have a police abstract. Try to understand all these things so that you avoid a lot of problems. If you just entrust people you call professionals with your things, these people are going to make you suffer, because these people are trying to protect their interests. They want money, they want their businesses to grow, they also want reputation, and so they will do these things for their own best interests. A lawyer will steal your money Doctors will mess you up, nurses will mess you up, sometimes teachers may mess you up if you don't understand what is happening. So try to read to understand. And because this video was for law, if you have to handle a case and if you have to entrust a lawyer with a case, do not just assume that this person went to school to study law and so they understand everything about myself and they will execute this case very well. No. It is you who knows yourself. You know yourself much better than a lawyer knows you. You know your case much better than a lawyer knows you. And so if you read what the law says, you can apply it to your situation better. And if you seek the services of a lawyer, now you understand the direction the lawyer should take. In this country, we have been fighting poverty, ignorance, and disease. So don't let your ignorance of the law be your problem. And to finish this video, does it mean that when you understand law, that you will win a case? No. You can understand how the case goes, but you may never win it, but at least you will know what happened. If you don't understand it, you may never know what happened. So fight ignorance. Do not just trust any professional with your matters. Thank you for listening to me. This is Giddy Akali, and we shall meet again in another video. Peace.